Hello! This is Melanie. Melanie is a patron of mine on Patreon, and we all love her very much. And she also happens to be a starving artist like me. She's a photographer. And I'm trying to finagle a way to get her to give me pictures because I want to see the pictures that she takes. And maybe if I ask really, really nicely, she'll let me share some of them with you guys. Who knows? No pressure or anything. Just, think that would be fun. So I just looked at my battery to see how much time I have. It says 38 minutes. It's about a 7-minute video. Let's see what we can do.
Is a real news story. It's not a joke. A legislator in California has introduced legislation that, if it passes, will impose prison time on people who fail to use other people's preferred pronouns.
Seriously, man. Fuck Nazis. Fuck white supremacists. Fuck Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Those assholes are not going to be where the Civil War comes from. This shit is where the Civil War is going to come from.
State Senator Scott Wiener's bill would apply to nursing homes and other elderly care facilities and would impose up to a year in prison on caregivers who, quote, willfully and repeatedly fail to use a transgender resident's preferred name or pronouns.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I just so badly now just want to say fuck you. Who gives a shit about your pronoun? Your pronoun is not a fucking crime. If I were to imprison all the people that called me a girl through my life, are you fucking kidding me? And it has nothing to do with people. It has to do with trans people. It has nothing to do with everybody. So everybody can still call me a girl all they want. Fine. But for all you people that misgender Riley, watch out. Fucking Reaper's coming.
Robin Bureau is a Democratic strategist. He supports all this. He joins us tonight.
Fucking this guy. I reviewed some fucked up Tucker videos. There have been more than a couple. But this motherfucker.
Robin, thanks for coming on. So, it doesn't sound very American, the idea that you go to jail if you say something someone else doesn't want you to say. Don't we have a Bill of Rights that would prevent that?
Absolutely, the First Amendment.
Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. And the sad and pitiful thing is, the Fed can do what it does, but, state laws. But it's one person. This is going to happen to one person. One person, and then it's going to be appeals, and it's going to get kicked up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's going to go, no. And then it's all going to be a waste of time and money. Just look at the waste of time and money. Just coming up with it. To even put this in a bill is stupidity beyond imagining. Who seriously thinks this is going to pass? Really?
And let me say this. I want to expose my own ignorance to this issue. I myself was ignorant to this issue until I actually read the bill and got informed. And what I found out in the bill, it actually says that there was a 2011 survey.
Why does it feel like I'm just being drawn off topic?
Which that's a bit dated.
2000, I don't know, you said 2011. So, the date is fuzzy. Was it 2001? Was it 2011? Like, this is pretty ham-handed. As far as fucking shitheads that try and twist shit go, this is pretty ham-handed.
But it did show that there were 6,456 respondents, and 28% of those suffered harassment, actually, from medical providers. 19% of those, these are LGBT elders, they had been denied care.
Well, is that illegal? If it's illegal to deny these people care, then you take it up with the law. Like, so what? Aren't these laws I mean, am I fucking crazy? Or can healthcare places just be like, no? I mean, I imagine private companies can turn people away, but there's got to be somewhere, right?
So that necessitated this bill. I would assert, let's be fair, that I think you're cherry picking, because this bill is not just about transgender use of pronouns and all that.
No, it isn't. It's about so much more. This is about so very, very much more.
It's about all of LGBT rights being included in the Patient's Bill of Rights that's posted on the doors.
So I'm sure there are lots of things.
Wait, what? All the LGBT rights include... What special rights do they have? I don't understand what special rights they have. Why do they need special rights? What makes them so special?
Things I would agree with in the bill, and just to be totally clear, I think you should call people what they want to be called. You know, I mean,
sure.
I think you should be polite to people, and I try to be.
And I know I'm going fucking crazy about this shit, but I totally agree with Tucker there. I try to do that too. I've stopped calling Milo a girl, and I've stopped calling Riley a guy. I don't do it anymore because, you know, you just get to a point where you go, you know what, I'll meet them halfway. So then, you know, at least that way, what I'm doing more is there. You never know what's possible. I never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen, right? And I plan on going to VidCon next year. And if I run into Milo, if she's allowed to go, because I think she got banned for some reason. I don't remember. But I think that was what happened. I don't remember. And if Riley goes again, you never know. I could run into Riley, and Riley could glare at me, and I could go, Riley, would you talk to me? And you never know. She might call my bluff and go, yeah, I'll talk to you. I didn't like what you said about, and I'll be like, I understand, I get it. And I didn't like what you said. That's why I said what I said. And you never know. We could talk. But I want to be able to have the foundation in my mind that Riley's a she. You know what I mean? If I fuck around and I just misgender her all the time because, like, I want to do it in conversation with her if that ever happens, as ridiculous as a possibility as that even is. But nevertheless, like I said, you never know. There will be times that we will be within 100 yards of each other, I'm sure. You know, like, we'll be within restraining order distance some point. You never know. But you never know what's going to happen. So I want to get that shit down pat so that I can at least be that congenial. So that at least that's not an issue. You know what I mean? It doesn't turn into, call me Greg, my name is Greg. Oh, I'm sorry, I call people sweetie. Yeah, well, my name is Greg. Well, I might not remember. It's Quagmire. Bypass it. You're she, fine. Let's talk. You know what I mean? Like, get the shit out of the way and let's discuss real subjects. So, yeah, I totally agree with Tucker here. It's always nice to be nice to people. It's always beneficial to be nice to people. It's very rarely beneficial to be shitty with people. It just very, very rare that really works in your favor. You know, just throwing that out there.
But there's a principle at stake here that you're ignoring for political reasons, and I'm a little surprised that you are. And that is a really simple one. It's called free speech, and you have the right to express your view. And if other people don't like it, they don't like it. But you can't be put in prison for saying what you think is true. And this bill seems to ignore that long-standing right that we've enjoyed, and I find it terrifying for that reason.
And see, this is actually free speech. Like, this is legitimate. This is a real concern. Everybody goes, oh, my free speech on YouTube. No. This is it. Like, all the things that everybody bitches about, everybody that makes a free speech on YouTube video should be talking about this shit right now. This is really the problem.
And I knew you were going to say that. I will contend that these are our employees. They are regulated by the government. They already have a patient's bill of rights that addresses some of these. What's left out are protections for the LGBT community. They are already, let's look at this, Tucker, if you will.
Like, yeah, we treat our old people shitty. We are a selfish people. And it's not even our culture. We've all treated our elders shitty. All through time. There's some people, oh, this time period, everybody treated their elders. No. We revered our elders. No. Everybody treated their elders shitty. Because everybody was off doing fucking cool shit while the old people sat and were just old people. Like, no matter how much the Native Americans revered their elders, they didn't invite them onto the hunts anymore. They didn't get to go for the fun shit. They got to sit there at the fucking teepee and fucking be old and wise. Like, that was their job. It's just shitty being old. No matter what. And nobody wants to be around old people because it's shitty being old. Nobody wants to think about it. It's like why nobody visits people in hospitals a lot. Because nobody wants to God damn it! This is a fucking impassioned point I'm making here, you motherfucker. Can I have a warning? Anything. Any little warning. Anything at all. A beep. You beep at everything else. You fucker. Oh my God. You sit on without recording for 5 seconds. You beep at me and tell me I turn myself off. Fucking asshole. I don't give a shit if it records the beep. That's why I add it. You son of a bitch. Alright. The fuck was I even saying? Old people. Sucks to be old. Fucking nobody wants to hang out with them. Like sick people. Nobody wants to hang out with them because they're fucking sick people. Nobody wants to catch it. And people act like oldness is a disease. It's the same thing we do with homeless people. It's the same thing we do with the mentally ill. We treat everybody that is somehow got something we don't want as if we can actually catch it. And only in the case of certain sick people is that really true. But you know what I mean? It's just, we're selfish fucking people. I don't know what to tell you. I wish we could be better. But it sucks to visit my grandma. I don't like seeing her like that. So, you know, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I got a lot of that shit going on in my life where I avoid situations because it's uncomfortable. I'm that type of person. And, you know, I'm going to die old and alone, so I'm going to feel it back. I'm not going to have a wife or any kids or any of that kind of shit. I'm going to probably fucking die because I fell in the bathtub and I couldn't, you know, I'm going to drown or some fucking stupid shit like that. Who knows? But it's gonna be something that if I had somebody to love in my life or something like that, it would solve the problem. But I don't fucking want that. I don't want to be that old. You know what I mean? I don't want to fucking live until I'm 90 and have people all around me that just want to ignore me. Because fucking that's what it is. I learned at a very young age that's what it is. When I saw how everybody treated Grandpa at fucking Christmas. Like, Grandpa sat there and watched TV. And every once in a while somebody'd say something to Grandpa. But for the most part, he sat there and watched TV. Everybody talked to each other. Because everybody else was doing shit. Grandpa, what are you doing? I'm watching TV. Oh, I mean, like, what are you doing in your life? Watching TV, you know, like, I don't know. It sucks, but it's what we are. And, you know, if you're the person that goes out and hangs out with your grandparents all the time, yeah, God bless you. But it sucks.
The elderly community is already a marginalized community. But think about the fact if you are LGBT or even, like, the worst, transgender, they're probably the most disenfranchised. They are the most vulnerable.
They're old. What makes them more vulnerable than other old people? Like, really? You think that if you call an old person a fucking, what do you, misgender them or whatever, and they're transgender or whatever, you seriously think that that's worse than taking a cisgendered whatever old person and calling them? You think an old man's gonna be less hurt by being called a girl all the time than really? This hierarchy of pain shit, this hierarchy of oppression, it's all on a hierarchy. And it's all based so that people like this fuck can look really good for talking about how they're on the side of the most minority of the minorities, the 3 people that are elderly and transgendered that exist in this world. Like, you finally found somebody that you can tag enough shit to finally get to the most pitiful person that you can find. And you're gonna sneak in the beginning of the end. Like, when it comes down to it, the beginning of the end. Because when one thing spoken becomes illegal, you are literally at that point policing people's thoughts. Because you're making somebody have to think about what they're going to say before they say anything to anybody that is questionable. And by questionable, can this get me arrested? Like, no.
And I want to say this, just consider, if you will, I myself am openly gay. Say 30 years from now, I've been in a relationship for a couple decades, and this bill wasn't in place, it would deny my partner the ability to come and visit me because a nurse might have a problem with it.
And fuck that. That shouldn't happen. If you're gay and your husband, wife, whatever, wants to come and visit you, whatever, whenever, wherever, yeah. People that stop that shit, you're dicks. Stop doing that. Because it's a dick move. Like, why? Why would you... Especially in a moment like that. Somebody's sick, dying. No, I'm sorry. It's for family only. Like, how much of a piece of shit do you really have to be? So, fuck that. But we're not talking about that. I give a shit less about that. That's cool. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand why that's not just in place. Because it's people. Why can't it just be for people to have loved ones come and visit them? Why does it have to be special? What makes you so special?
No, but again, you're skirting the point that I'm making, which is this bill criminalizes speech. If you use the wrong word, you can be put in jail. That is grotesque. And I understand that you're enthusiastic about expanding rights for LGBT elders, okay? But why in the world would you, as an American who once wore the uniform, support a bill that would criminalize speech?
This dude was in the military. This goes back to the whole thing that I did with the fucking transgender people in the military. If you're not joining the military to serve your country, you're joining for the wrong reasons. And how you can be in the military, go through all of that, and come out of it with this level of fucking idiocy about freedom of speech. Like,
because elder abuse is inherently wrong. And I will read the bill. It says...
No, slow down. Speech is not abuse.
They should just call Tucker's show Nobody Answers the Question. Like, because nobody ever answers the question. Tucker has such good and damning questions that nobody can ever answer the question. Nobody ever answers this question. So annoying.
No, I'm talking about abuse. This is, understand this, misusing someone's pronoun is abuse.
Seriously, man, I seriously just would love for one of these people to go, yeah, we want to control you.
We see all the time people do this as a form of abuse. I follow the alt-right blogs where they call Michelle Obama a man. That is abusive.
That's an alt-right blog. Like, who gives fuck? Who cares? I don't care how abusive it is. You can say it. As long as you're just saying it, you can say it. And you have the right to be offended. You have the right to be upset. You have the right to feel abused. But that doesn't mean you are abused. So, no.
Should they go to jail for that?
Should not be accepted.
Should they go to jail for that?
But if it's done in a medical thing, what constituted, hold on, what constituted, Tucker, is prolonged, continuous, intentional abuse by a healthcare provider. That is abuse. That should be criminal.
That is so broad of a definition. That should be criminal.
It should be criminal. Okay, what about thinking it? What if I have unpleasant thoughts about you and you could somehow find out I had them? Should I go to jail too?
To be honest, like, it's phrased stupidly. Like, Tucker phrases this question silly like. But it is thought control. You know what I mean? When you're making things illegal to say, that is thought control. Because you have to think of it first before you fucking speak it. Like, no!
Is that abuse as well?
That's human nature. That's human nature. But
fucking just acid, just like, and that's what I love about Tucker. He throws out these goofy zingers. Like, sometimes it's like, but sometimes he throws them out, man, and boy, do these people just whiff.
But using the wrong pronoun should get me. How many times? Okay, how many? Well, abuse is a subjective term. We're not talking about physical abuse. We're talking about saying something the person hearing it doesn't like.
Mental abuse.
Mental abuse, right? Which is a totally subjective category. Once again,
dude, this guy is mentally abusing me.
How many times would I have to misuse a pronoun before I went to prison?
It has to be, I already gave you the 3 criteria. Prolonged, continuous, intentional abuse.
Yeah, motherfucker, you can read that shit over and over and over again. But I'll tell you a little anecdotal story here. It is what it is. It's an anecdotal story. My grandmother's getting up there. She's very old. Like, in 90s old. And she ain't all there anymore. That's why it's so painful to go and visit grandma. If she was a spry 90-some-year-old, it would be fantastic. But it's not going good. So, she's not all there. And she'll go to my aunt, and she will say to her, I need my medicine, give me my pills. And my aunt will say something to the effect of, no, you already took your pills. I'm not going to give you a second dose. You can't have any more pills. And then my grandmother will call my mother and tell my mother what a horrible person her sister is because she's keeping her from her medication. And she's going to kill her if she doesn't let her have her medication. And she needs to have her medication. So then my sister calls her sister, or my mother calls my aunt. Oh, God. So my mother calls her sister and says, why are you not giving mom her medication? And she says, I give her the medication every day at the same exact time. She never remembers an hour later that I did that. 2 hours after that, she's forgotten it completely. So just wait a while, the calls will stop. Like, and that's life now. You know what I mean? So, define for me. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting into the even more ridiculous area of how much validity do we give to these claims? You know what I mean? How is this judged out? Does the orderly have to do it in front of a doctor? Does there have to be a witness other than the old person? Or does the old person just have to say, that orderly called me a woman, I'm a man? You know what I mean? And think of it like this. You want to hear some really fucked up Inception level shit? Most old people, I'm just, because of the time period, most old people nowadays in their 80s, 90s, really, really old people, they're racist. Like, they grew up back then. It was okay back then. My grandma, Brazil nuts was always an interesting thing when my grandmother would serve it. You know what I mean? Say what you want, but that was fucking, and she's old now, so there's nothing we can do about it, So, they're gonna be sitting there going, that black orderly called me a what? You know what I mean? Like, this. And seriously, how many transgendered elderly people are there? 3, 4 in the world? Come on.
By a healthcare provider. There has to be a history of it.
Let's stop using euphemisms here and just get to the core facts. How many times did I have to misuse a pronoun before the police came, handcuffed me, and sent me to a prison cell?
That's not just a pronoun. Like I said, you're cherry picking. This also is denying.
That's what it does. Lots of no. But the bill says a lot of things.
Because the bill.
But I'm specific.
Yes.
No, but it also says what I'm saying. It says. I'm not making this up.
It's seriously, it's such a ham-handed way to try and work that in. Like, what could possibly be the end goal? Seriously, is that it? Hold up. I'm willing to talk turkey. So, we'll give in on the, it's illegal to misgender elderly transgendered people. It will only apply towards elderly transgendered people, make you guys happy, right? It's utterly illegal to misgender them, okay? And you shut the fuck up about the rest of it. Everything else, we get to keep all of the rest of free speech. We'll give up that one little bit, right? Right? And then we'll keep everything else. Can that be the deal? Fuck no. That can never be the deal. Because then why can't it apply to all trans people? Why can't it apply to gay people? Why can't it apply to black people? Why can't it apply to white people? Because you're white. It always comes down to that. It's always trying to just get rid of white people. It all comes down to that one way or another. Because all the minority people, they've all decided we're just, fuck us. We're just evil. We just gotta go. And then we'll all be happy when it's just us. It just, I don't know. It comes off to me that way. I know that sounds really fucking weird, but what else can it be? Everybody wants their special fucking recognition for their group, and white people are always getting shit on. It's no surprise that the fucking Nazi movement is starting to come back. Really? Ah, this is some Nazi level shit. Illegal speech. Come on. They're not even being fucking slick about it anymore. This is fucking blatant.
So it says a lot of things, sure, but what I care about is the criminalization of speech. And I'm asking you a very simple question. How many times do I need to use the wrong pronoun before police with guns show up at my house and handcuff me and deprive me of my freedom and throw me in a prison cell? How many times? 4 times? 5 times? How many times?
That has not been... I posted the entire bill on my Twitter at Robin Byro.
Answer the question. Answer the question. I don't give a shit where you post it up your ass. Answer the question.
You can read the entire bill. That does not say a specific number.
Look,
I will say that.
You're dodging it. You're dodging it. And last question. There are a lot of things that I don't like to hear. People call me names. I find it abusive. I have mental anguish as a result, let's say. Should they go to jail for that?
Like, there's already people... Anybody remember Anita Sarkeesian? Like, this is already a discussion that's being had. Steve Shives? This is already a discussion that's being had. Never in a million years. This was one of those things that I honestly thought never in a million years is anybody ever going to have a problem with freedom of speech. I don't get it.
If they are your healthcare provider and they do it intentionally to mentally abuse you, and it's stated on the wall in the Healthcare Bill of Rights, yes.
Yeah. Aren't there already abuse laws? Isn't it already illegal to abuse people? Why can't it just be people? What? I've already asked all of these questions.
And if they do it over and over
deliberately... When did you get in favor of...
Yes.
You know, these are like minimum wage workers, and you're like, you know what I mean, bullying them, basically. It's so weird. I wonder... I hope you'll watch this tape when this is over and ask yourself if you're really on the right side of this question.
See, and that's the most interesting part to me. If this dude watches this video, he's going to think he came out way on top. They always do. They're like, I don't know, man. I like, I'll never get it. Just the lack of, it's not even self-awareness at this point. It's just awareness. Like, it's just awareness.
Because it used to be, like, people had their opinions, they could express them, and no one threatened to send them to jail.
Listen, like I said, I didn't used to be on the right side of this issue, but I read the bill and educated myself.
I read it, too.
I get it.
And it scared me.
Yeah, it scares me, man. I mean, nothing scares me more than that. I mean, it's... And I mean, I'm in a situation right now where I'm kind of like, because there's a video I really want to do, and I think I figured out the way that I can do it and not have it be bad, but like, I'm really trying to wonder whether or not I want to do it. And really all it is, I just want to discuss a song I like. That's it. So simple. So silly. But it's going to be like a half an hour worth of setup just to be able to say I kind of like this song. And then I'm going to have to do 10 minutes worth of qualifying statements to explain why. Because if you don't do that, God knows what I'm going to be called. God knows what new affiliations I'm going to be tied with. You know what I mean? And like, fuck. So it's a bitch, that whole freedom of speech thing. And, you know, I'm stressing it because I want to do it on YouTube. But, like, it's still not illegal. You know, I'm just stressing it because of the societal backlash that I might incur from it. Not because I think I might go to jail. But fuck. They're talking about sending people to jail for a year. A year. For something so vague. And relying on the elderly to convey properly. And I'm telling you, man, it is you can't crack that door. Because once those motherfuckers wedge their foot into it, we're done. It's done. It's over. Nazi Germany again. Funny how that works. Except who are we going to exterminate this time? Like, it sounds fucked up and racist. It sounds like, oh shit, what's going on with him now? But I'm just, you know, I'm looking at things. And I see shit. And you gotta be fucking stupid to not put it together that way. How can you not put it together that way? Explain to me how it can't be put together that way. It just seems like it's that way. Call me crazy. Maybe I need a tinfoil hat. But I don't know. I'm really scared if they are. I mean, they're seriously proposing this. I feel bad for all you guys who live in California. Good luck, motherfuckers.